Hi, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your August 21st, 2023 Venus reemerging as the morning star reading for you. This is our love reemerging in our lives in quite a profound way. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm more than you guys will ever know. So, thank you so very much for doing so. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. And if you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or an animal healing, that will also be listed in the description box below. Well, the link to my website will be listed in the description box below. And if you're having trouble with the website, please email me at daneharttarot@gmail.com. Okay, now let's begin this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. This healing meditation will also be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Seven of Wands reversed. There's a release of having to fight, and we need to be mindful of it because we have been so ready to defend ourselves, ready to fight, ready to attack, that this release can seem fake. It can seem fake. It can seem like, no, it's not supposed to be that way. I always have to be on the defensive. I always have to be fight. I always have to be on the ready. So just be aware of this. This is a sense of just be mindful of a release. It's like, oh, it actually gives me goosebumps. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually a sense of the battle is over. Okay. And it can be mindful because the battle is over, and yet you will have somebody trying to be sneaky around you, right? But it doesn't amount to anything. They can be as sneaky as they want to be over in their little corner of the world. That's fine. It's not. It will not have the ramifications on yours as it once might have. Okay, but really, with any really negative, terrible people, keep them away. Okay, don't let them near you. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Ooh, there we go. Here we have Enchanted. Oh, you know what? It's so funny. I was looking at the cards, excuse me, the cards before I started, and I just randomly picked them up, and Enchanted is what came forward. I'm so happy that came into your deck, into your reading. Enchanted. Just embracing the enchanted power of Venus reemerging as the morning star. Venus disappeared from our night sky from the 6th of August to the 13th of August. It was, from the 6th of August is when it disappeared from the night sky. On the 13th of August is when she was conjunct the sun. And now she's reemerging on the 21st of August. And this is going to be a time where we start to see the enchanted beauty around love on, what our soul wants and what our hearts desire. And this is a time to really embrace the magic within the world. Embrace what makes us look at life as something enchanted, something beautiful, something kind of like a storybook. And the best storybooks aren't the ones that are always happy all the time, though when I was younger I always thought so. But now it's like the best storybooks are the ones that have a really good story to them, really good character development, really good, plot progression. It's a sense of you want the meat and potatoes of it all. And Venus, as she's reemerging, you know, from the underworld, is giving us that. So let's see what the tarot has to say before we start talking about Venus a little bit more. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay, that's intense. Okay, so with the sun reversed, it's a no answer. Okay? And I really do see this as the time. So, what we're talking about here, okay, let's talk about Venus for a minute. The time that she was out of sight in the night sky is a profound time for us. It makes us face aspects of ourselves that we needed to come back into relationship with. Okay? And as we're coming back into a relationship, we've realized no, it's kind of like, no, I don't want these battles anymore. No, I don't want this anymore. It has to do with love. It has to do with the battles of love. There's something here, okay? There's a love relationship that has ended for a lot of us. Okay? And kind of the happily ever after that was thought of might not be with that person. Okay? If we are in a loving, committed relationship, what we have found is that a lot of the baggage that we have been carrying with the relationship with ourselves, with the relationships that we have had with significant people in our lives, it has been hindering us from moving forward in the love that we want. And so we're releasing comparing ourselves to other people. We're releasing, looking at our love in a way that was like kind of handed down to us. Love is like this. We're redefining it for ourselves. The Queen of Pentacles reversed. There's prosperity, success, bounty, abundance. There's a reconnection with the heart, and there's a reconnection with what we love coming forward. But it's almost like we had to lose it in order to connect with it again. The Page of Wands, that's us. We don't want to be a student during this time. We don't really want any of these lessons. But Venus doesn't care. Okay? Venus is bringing us what we need to see. It's a time of profound change and transformation. It is a time of moving things forward. We're not seeing the duality of things. The lover's energy also represents Gemini. Gemini is duality, and we're not seeing that duality in our lives. We have to know that everything isn't black and white, white page, black print, everything, double space typed out neatly and definedly. Life is messy. And we've definitely come to understand that during this time of Venus being in the underworld. Now on the 21st of August, Venus will reemerge as the morning star, right as the sun is almost exactly conjunct the royal star of Regulus. This is very, very important to us, especially Leo, because we are the constellation Leo. We are Leo, right? And the sun, with almost being exactly conjunct Regulus, is the star at the heart of Leo. And Venus will be very close to the head of the serpent of the constellation of Hydra. The serpent is our oldest known image of the goddess of the sacred feminine, right? And Venus is emerging proudly, guided by the sacred feminine energy into manifestation in our love, in our desires, and the prosperity of that love of Venus is coming forward. We're finding it a little bit difficult to take. So just be aware of this. We're also ruled by the sun. So when the sun is reversed, we have been out of alignment. This is making more sense now because I was like, "Ooh, my." We have been out of alignment with our energy for a bit. It doesn't have to be for quite some time, but it can be for a little bit. Or just even from the 6th of August, there's been something that has knocked us out of alignment. We are going to start being in alignment with ourselves, but we need to start being really honest with ourselves. What do we want? How do we move forward? Where do we need to be? How do we shine the light in of our love for us? And how do we move forward? Because the sun is the happiest card in the whole entire deck. And yet here, the sun is in question, right? We're questioning, what do we love? How do we shine? The 10 of Cups, don't look at anybody else for your happiness. This is a time where we are really starting to see, I look at me. I look at what I love. I look at what I want. I look at what I need. It's not being totally autonomous. but it's not comparing our happiness to everybody else. Because when we look at everybody else's carefully curated moments, they're they're snapshots of perfect. We don't see them fighting behind closed doors. We don't see any of that. We don't see any of the realness of life, like the story, right? The meat and the potatoes of it. We don't see it. And here, it's like, don't believe everything that glitters. It isn't gold. It's usually gilded. It's usually rotted underneath. So when we look at the 10 of Cups and they all live happily ever after, it's not going to be the way that it was expected or the way that somebody told you it should be. It's going to be your own way. It's going to be in your power. And I really see you taking back your power, what you want, Leo. And with the Lovers, this is duality, right? There can be somebody during this time. It's not for every Leo. I don't want to say your relationships are over, it's all terrible. That's not the case. This is a general reading. And one of the ways that this is coming forward is that somebody has a relationship. You guys were close. You might not have seen each other for a real long time, but that relationship is coming to an end. It is no longer blessed. It's no longer what you want, and you are moving forward. But you're finding that that release is a bit difficult. You can be finding that you're thinking about an ex, and it's like, why is this coming forward? I have been finding during these readings that forgiveness is a huge thing. And I know some of you are just going to be like, no, not forgiving, not going to go down that road. And that's cool. Not until you're ready. But I've been working with Qigong and Spring Forest Qigong, and Master Lin talks about him having to forgive. And I don't have the story memorized correctly at all, but he had to forgive. He grew up in communist China, and he had to forgive these people who just like, he looked at it, they were like, they destroyed his life, right? And he's like, I'm not going to forgive them. I'm not going to forgive them for what they did to me, to my family. I'm not going to forgive them. And his master, his teacher, which is just what master means, his teacher, told him, that's fine, then just pretend. But you have to do this. And I don't know if he had to sit for 5 hours and say, I forgive you, or if he had to, do it for 5 days. I just can't remember. But he had to sit there for what seemed like an interminable amount of time and forgive these people. And he started off saying, I don't really forgive you. I'm just pretending that I forgive you. And he would picture them in his mind and he would say, I forgive you. I forgive you. And then he said that finally, just to make it go faster, because he was doing it for so long, he just said, I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. This was a man who had terrible arthritis. This was a man who had terrible depression. And he said he stood up from that. And he stood up from it lighter, more freed. And I'm seeing that here. There's something that we're carrying that it's a heaviness to us. And I've said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this forgiveness. So if you want to join me, I'm not going to do it online. I'm going to do it personally because I feel like it's a very personal, private thing. And it's a bit ghoulish to do it online. So if you want to join me, whether you do it for 5 minutes a day, for, you know, 15 minutes, I would start off small, but we do forgiveness because I've had faces come forward during the time that Venus has been in the underworld of people who I thought I forgave. Like I thought, no problem, our relationship, great. Or not even a relationship. I remember one of the pictures was my first year third grade teacher. I was so good at it. I did it twice, right? Third grade. And I didn't realize how angry I was still at her. And I saw her face and just this anger came up. And so to work on forgiveness for people who have hurt us, so that anger, that release of the energy in our kidneys, that release to be able to move us forward is going to be so important so that our anger does not feed our heart. Because remember, our heart talks to our mind more than our mind talks to our heart. So just that release to be able to move forward in prosperity, success, bounty, abundance, to embrace, to embrace our success. Because right now, there's a disharmony within the heart, but also within the root chakra, within the root of us, to be able to nurture, to be able to bring forward the prosperity, the abundance, the success that we want within our lives. So just knowing that is going to be a very important thing. We don't want to be a student during this time. We really, sorry, just hit my mic. We really want to have everything figured out and just move forward and be like, this is a great day. Everything's hunky-dory, coming up roses. And yet we're going to find that we're learning a lot. That Venus's time in the underworld, that time of needing to connect with relationships has been profound. And that time of things coming up that we had thought like those battles were over. Okay, that was done. Like, it could be hidden. It coming up now, it's like, oh wow, okay, that needed to be faced. We are going to learn so much about our hearts during this time and on the 21st. And it's not just like on that day, that's it, it's done. It's like on the 21st forward, we're going to be looking at, what do I love? What do I want? How does my heart guide me? How am I embracing love and passion and what I desire in my life? How am I feeding the inner child within me? How am I connecting with her or him or however you identify yourself? How am I connecting with that child, with that person? Because we're going to be learning so much from this time, even though we might never want to look at it again. It's going to be a profound learning time. All right. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. Let's look. I don't know why I was closing off the reading. No, let's look at our subconscious energy that we need to be mindful of, and it's the Hermit. Be mindful of going too deep in your own head. Be mindful of falling down rabbit holes. Okay? Virgo energy, be mindful of Virgo energy as well. But going too deep in your own head is going to be something very important. Our subconscious spirit message is inspire. This is a time to be inspired. This is a time to say there's so much more out there than just what I see or just what I thought. It is time to be inspired. And it moves us then to our subconscious, tarot message. And it's the Knight of Cups reversed. It's learning how to trust our hearts again to move forward. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. But it's learning how to trust our hearts again and to move forward in what we love and what's truly important to us. All right. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Leo. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.